Welcome, everyone, to this edition of the SMB Insider Partner Spotlight. I'm Brent Combest, the General Manager for the Central Region here on the SMB team at Microsoft. And today I'm joined by Paul Hager. Hey, welcome, Paul. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Brent.
So first and foremost, congratulations on winning the Central Region Rising Star Partner of the Year Award last year. That's a fantastic award, and we're really glad to have you guys.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we're really excited.
Well, let's start simple. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your company.
Yeah, Information Technology Professionals, or ITP, is based out of Madison, Wisconsin. We have offices in Madison, Milwaukee, and Appleton, Wisconsin. We serve the country nationwide, helping small to medium-sized businesses adopt and grow the cloud, and find unique ways with a real vertical focus in helping them adopt cloud technologies in the Microsoft solution stack.
So, Paul, you guys have had great success, especially in recent times. Tell us a little bit about the journey that's got you to where you're at today.
Yeah, we're a 13-year-old company, so we're not the newest to the game, but we've had different phases in the life of this business. In our first phase, we were a very traditional, legal-focused ERP consulting company, and then we did very traditional server and deployment work, and now we're really into what we think is a more modern phase of the business that's not just traditional managed services, but a real cloud focus, and a cloud focus that still leaves the roots that we have in our vertical markets. And I think that's really what it takes, is to combine those vertical solutions with a modern approach to technology that helps people adopt cloud, so that, especially in SMB, that we're not always using just generic technical terms, but really wrapping solutions together for these verticals that make it easier for them to consume some of these great products like Office 365, Azure Infrastructure as a Service, identity services, security. Those are all great products in themselves, but we have to be the strategic solution provider to wrap those into a combined offer.
I think it's a great story. I really like how you guys have combined an element of specialization. You know what your core competency is, and you know how to separate yourself through that vertical specialty. And that's, to me, something that I've seen commonly amongst the top performing partners, both here in the U.S. as well as around the world. But you're also staying ahead of the trends. You're thinking about how to leverage a trend, if you will, and how to take advantage of this concept of digital transformation, which I think is a really big deal for many of our partners today. Now, when you think about the journey ahead and building upon the success of where you've been, what are maybe some of the big things that you guys are focused on for the next 12 to 24 months?
We're really focused on starting to build our own IP, and really not just talking about Microsoft solutions, because those are great, but bundling that with some of our own magic sauce that we've learned over the years, and in a way then kind of being sneaky, getting people involved in more concepts and technologies than maybe they would have on their own. So bundling in things like Azure in addition to Office 365, taking a piece of Office 365 and SharePoint and layering in some of our experience and templates to make it something unique that we can offer. And I think that's the next evolution, right? What's great about the SMB market is that it is always changing, and the companies that do well are the ones that embrace that change, prepare for it, and revolutionize their company for what's coming down the road. And we were always able to be nimble, and that's allowed us to grow faster than our competitors. And the next area for that, I think, is building what is special about you into products, into solutions that are wrapped together that help these SMB customers adopt things like Azure or Azure Infrastructure as a Service, or Azure Security or Active Directory. These are great technical things that are being created, but finding ways to productize those, finding ways to make that easier to adopt and easier to consume is going to be how we're going to help the next evolution of small to mid-sized companies grow and start developing into these things. If we're just calling them up and saying, hey, we want to talk to you about this cloud thing, it's called Azure. What's great is Microsoft has gotten a fantastic name out there, and that definitely opens doors, but it opens it even better to say, you don't need to worry about the technology there. We're going to wrap that into a complete solution.
Makes sense. And, there's a couple interesting trends that you guys are tying or aligning your strategy to. The first is in a post-recessionary economy, so much of the IT budget is shifted into the business decision maker now that you have to speak in a different set of taxonomy or terminology that's more relevant to them. But even beyond that, they're thinking more and more about how they can invest strictly around the things that are core drivers for their business and outsourcing the things that aren't. And that's where you guys as a partner and a value-added provider really come in and help. And one of the things I loved about your site that I thought was brilliant was how you guys give two different journeys, one for an IT pro and one for a business decision maker, so they can come in and learn in their vernacular or learn on their terms and take a journey with you in a way that's more relevant to their focus areas. And is that something that you think really was conscious and aligned to how the market is transforming on your end?
Yeah, I appreciate you noticing that. We put a lot of effort into our website, a lot of effort into marketing, which is not my strong suit, right? I'm a technologist at my core, but I wouldn't be able to grow the company I have if I couldn't hire good people and trust them to do their jobs really well. And marketing is one of those areas. We spend a lot of time in researching into who the buyer really is and how they want to be talked to. And I'll give you a few interesting trends we caught from that. One is exactly what you identified. The buyer is either IT or non-IT, and they care about very different things. So that's how we branch off our conversation with them. And two, just kind of a funny one, is that over 80% of IT companies use the color blue. And so you'll notice that even though I'm not super comfortable with it, we are a very bright yellow because we're opposite the color wheel. And we're appealing to the fact that over 50% of buyers in IT are women, and they don't want to see any more blue from a marketing standpoint. So using everything that we can to align to where people are so that we get in the door quicker, better, faster, and find them the right solution.
Smart, perceptive advice around marketing. I really like that. I think that's a great approach to things. Hey, Paul, I've got one more question for you before we close out today. And I always ask this of partners that have had great success, but I'm curious to know if you've had one piece of advice or one either roadblock or one thing that you'd say to emphasize to yourself, maybe looking back 12 months ago or even beyond that, knowing how long you guys have been in business, what would it be?
My advice would be to get uncomfortable. As I talk to, and I'm on advisory boards with major distributors and other places in technology space, and I talk to those partners that wish they could be further down the path. They always have a reason why they haven't gone that far. Well, we just have this business that's really good in hosted email with this other provider, and our margins are good there. So I don't want to get out of my comfort zone of that and start moving that to Office 365. Oh, we've got our own cloud offering, and so we're not comfortable with where Azure is at. My advice would be to get uncomfortable because the market is shifting. The over 21 global data centers and positions that Microsoft has, in my business opinion, they're going to win that cloud battle. And this is an opportunity, a huge opportunity, especially in SMB, to be aligned with a leader in a very special time, I think, where Microsoft is looking to those strategic partners who maybe aren't the biggest anymore. It's the ones who are most aligned and most agile to the new models of where technology is going. And so get uncomfortable and go on that path, and then show Microsoft where you can have those successes together. And what we've experienced is Microsoft wants to align with those customers or those partners and really support our business along that path. But it takes that first step of being, even though I'm making some money over here, I'm going to get uncomfortable with that, bring that to Microsoft and say, I'm in. I see the vision. Let's go after this digital transformation together.
Wow, that's great advice. I really like that. That comfort as a concept can become a limiter to growth and realizing your full potential. That's great insight. Paul, thank you very much. I really appreciate you taking the time with us today. And, congratulations again to winning the Rising Star Partner of the Year award last year. I can easily see, based on our conversation today, that Cloud Partner of the Year is definitely in your future. Congratulations again, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Brent.